You want to put new logos on the headstocks of your guitar? I'll show you how to do it professionally, quick, and easily. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Gene Cavassis. I recently built this Stratocaster guitar, and I want to show you how to easily do the headstock logos and any other logos that you want to do. So let's get started. I ordered the waterslide decal paper from Amazon. I'll put a link below where you can order this. After you've finished sanding the neck of the guitar, I'm going to use True Oil. This is made for gun stocks, and it's a beautiful product for rubbing in a glossy, clear, beautiful silk finish. Now you can put several coats on the guitar, but you literally can just hand rub it into the wood. Now, if you're actually refinishing a Fender guitar and you want the original logos on there, you can find those at Google Image and just type in Fender headstock logo. I wanted to create my own, so utilizing Photoshop, I took a variation of the Fender logo and spelled out Stratocaster. I also added in some of my DIY decals so I could fill the sheet. Now, when you're loading the slide decal into the printer, make sure you have the correct side up. You may want to do a test run just in case. Once you've printed it, I would set it aside and let it dry for a few minutes. Now you're ready to cut out your decals and get them ready to put them in the water. When you're cutting your decal material out, cut it as close as you can to the original logo. You're going to want it close rather than just having a big square around it, because you may see a slight edging, but I think you can get rid of that once you put a clear coat over the top of the whole thing. You can size up your logo just setting it down on the headstock to make sure everything's going to fit the way you want. Trimming up the DIYGene logo, I decided I was going to set that on the top of the headstock. I cut out one more larger DIYGene logo. This is going to be placed on the spring cover that's on the back of the Stratocaster. Utilizing rust-oleum clear, I taped down my images and I gave them a very light coat of the clear. Giving the headstock a light sanding with steel wool and making sure that it's slick and smooth and ready to go. Take a damp cloth and wipe away any excess steel wool. And now you're going to get some room temperature water and just set your decal one at a time into the water. Now, relax and let this take its time, and it'll eventually start to literally slide away from the backing material. So, you might have to test it a little bit, but once it's ready to go, it's very easy to just slide right off of it. I put a little bit of water on the headstock itself, and then set my decal down approximately where I want it to go. You've got time while it's still wet to reposition your decal. So slide it off, and then carefully just kind of maneuver your decal into the position you want it in. Now, once you have that down, you're going to want to take a clean cotton cloth and lightly dab and smooth it down. You're going to make sure you have all of the bubbles out from underneath the decal and a good slick surface. Also, applying the other decal, I'm going to do this the same way, using the washcloth or here a cotton rag to just smooth off the decal and make sure you have a clean, smooth finish. I'm going to do the same thing for that plastic plate that goes on the back of the Stratocaster. This is the plate that covers the springs on the back. So this is a little bit larger decal. It took a little longer for it to pull away from the backing paper, but once it did, I set the whole decal back in the water to make sure it was good and damp. I set it down on the plastic, and just like with the headstock, you've got time to adjust and make sure it's exactly where you want it. Once you have that, take that cotton cloth and just lightly dab and kind of pushing away, pushing out any bubbles or excess water. set aside and let this dry. I let the two dry overnight. Now on the headstock, I'm going to apply another coat of True Oil on. Applying exactly the same way I did before the decals, I'm going to hand rub the True Oil straight into the surface. Once that's done, I will set that aside and let it dry. Buffing it after it is dry is the essential part that really puts a beautiful shine onto this. Put a little time, but once that's done, take a look at how you can't even tell where the decal begins and ends with a nice shine. For the back plate, I'm going to just spray another coat of the rust-oleum clear coat onto it and set that aside to dry. Once it's dried, we're ready to assemble that onto the back of the guitar. Hey, thanks a lot for watching the video. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please put them in the comment section down below, and please consider subscribing to the site. We'll keep making DIYGene videos. See you soon.